Hello everyone. Today I will be presenting my account management system for task 71P. The purpose of this task uh, is to simulate a simple banking system where user can create account and perform transactions such as deposit, withdrawals and transfer between accounts. The program built is using object-oriented programming principles. The main classes are account, bank, transaction, deposit transactions, withdrawal transactions, transfer transactions, and the program class. First, I will explain the role of each classes. First class is the account class. This represents a bank account. It stores the attributes such as the account name and current balance. It also contains methods such as deposit, withdraw, and print. The deposit methods adds money to the account. The withdraw method removes money if enough funds are available. And the print method displays the account details. Second class is bank class. This manages the whole system. It stores all the accounts in a private list called accounts, and it stores transaction history in another account called transactions. The bank can add accounts, find accounts, execute transactions, print account information, and display the transaction history. This class acts as the central controller of the banking operations and it runs any transaction. And the next important class is the transaction class. This is an abstract parent class, meaning it provides a general structure for all transactions, but it is not used directly to create objects. In my program, it contains shared transaction information such as amount executed, underscore reserved, and it also common methods like execute and rollback. Uh, the child classes then provide their own implementation of these methods. The three transaction subclasses are deposit transaction, withdrawal transaction, transfer transaction. Each one inherit from the transaction class. Even though they are all transactions, they perform different actions. Deposits adds money, withdrawal removes money, transfer move to money between accounts. They provide their own version of how the transaction should execute, rollback, and print. Finally, its final class is the program class. This controls the menu system. It allows user to choose actions. They have actions like create account, deposit money, withdrawal money, transfer money, and print account details and print transaction history. This class handles user interaction with the banking system. Now I will explain how the program demonstrates the four main object-oriented concepts. First is abstraction. Abstraction means hiding unnecessary details and showing only the important features. In my program, abstraction is how is shown through the abstraction class transaction class. It represents the general idea of a transaction, but it doesn't know what type of the transaction it is. For example, deposit, withdraw, and transfer are all transactions, but each one works differently. The transaction class given a common structure for methods like execute, rollback, print. But the details are handled by the child classes. This allows the program that treat all transaction types generally as a transaction object. Second object-oriented concept is encapsulation. Encapsulation means keeping the data private inside the class and controlling access through the methods and properties. As you can see, in the account class, the balance is stored in a private field, like private decimal balance. Other classes cannot directly change the balance. They must be used methods like deposit amount and withdrawal amount. This protects the account from invalid changes. For example, the withdrawal method check if the amount is valid and if there's enough money to reducing the balance. The bank class also use encapsulation and the account list is private. Account can only be managed through the methods such as add account and get account. Third object-oriented concept is inheritance. In inheritance, it means child classes reuse the code from parent class. In my program, transaction classes inherit from transaction, like deposit transaction, withdraw transaction, and transfer transaction. This means they automatically receive the shared features like amount executed, reserve, and execute rollback methods. Example, you can see here deposit transaction double dot transaction. It means it inherits from the transaction class. As you can see, the base amount sends the transaction amount to the parent transaction class. This reduces code duplication, but because the common transaction logic is written in the parent class instead of being repeated in every transaction class. Third final object-oriented programming concept is polymorphism. It means different objects can be treated as the same parent type, but each object can behave differently. In the bank class, there is only one execute method. As you can see, they use one execute method, but it will run differently. This method can run deposit transaction, withdraw transaction, and transfer transaction classes. But even though they are treated as the transaction object, each one runs its own version of execute. A deposit transaction adds money, a withdraw transaction removes money, a transfer transaction money between two accounts moves money between two accounts. This makes the program flexible and easy to extend. If I add a new transaction type later, the bank will can still execute it as using the same method. In conclusion, my account management system demonstrates all of the four features of object-oriented programming concepts. These concepts make the program more organized, reusable, structured, and secure and easier to maintain. Thank you.